Mr. Boo.
Hey everybody, it is I, Mr. Boo, the Entertainment Guru, Mr. Boo, Entertainment Guru, right here on YouTube. And again, we're back with these Ringside reports. They've all launched, and today's video is all about the Ringside report on My Faction. Will this mode be good this year? Will this mode have charisma, as they say? Well, let's get into the report, shall we? Now, first up, I'm talking chemistry. Now, why am I saying will My Faction have chemistry this year? Well, that's of course because of something new coming to My Faction called Team Chemistry. It is one of the newest features in My Faction this year, and yes, it is called Team Chemistry. It is a team chemistry system that will add an extra layer of strategy when putting together a lineup before each and every match. The number of positive and negative faction reactions in any given lineup will determine a My Faction team's chemistry score. Now, a team's manager can also help reduce negative chemistry from a specific parameter. There are 60 traits across 10 different categories, with half of them providing positive effects and the other half they're negative effects, and they will have a negative effect on your team chemistry. So be sure to pay close attention to all of these with all the different lineups you create. Now, next up, My Faction on Wwe 2K26 will feature intergender support. Now, this is another big change to this year's My Faction, and it is the added support for intergender lineups and matches. A My Faction lineup remains 4 members to a team, but this time, instead of having an all-male and a separate all-female lineup, they can be combined into one 4-person team, men and women. Now, on some occasions, depending on the live event or the objective, lineups may require all-male or, again, all-female superstars, but for the most part, intergender, it will be the norm in Wwe 2K26. Now, third on the docket for this Ringside report, we're talking Quick Swap. It's one of the most exciting additions to My Faction in Wwe 2K26. It's the debut of a new match type, and they're calling it Quick Swap. Now, what is Quick Swap? Why? Quick Swap, they're matches that will provide a unique experience that involves the ability to swap from one superstar instantly over to another superstar in the middle of a match. They're taking a page from fighting games where players can hit the right trigger and the left bumper to then swap to another superstar. You'll even see a really cool teleport effect when making a swap. In these matches, the objective is to defeat every opponent by knockout, where every member on your lineup has their own health bar, but they do share signature and finisher slots, adding additional strategy to the mix. Now, 2K says that they think players will enjoy this new experience, and they can't wait for everyone to try it out. Now, up next, we all know that Faction Wars is what My Faction was built around. So yes, Faction Wars is back, but they've updated the progression system. At the beginning, players will have their card randomly drawn from the new crowd's deck. As players progress through multiple runs in Faction Wars, more decks will open up, which will improve the cards available from that card pool. There's a rehearsal deck, a planted deck, ambulance deck, and bejeweled deck. They are just some of the examples of decks, with a few of them requiring more than just consecutive wins. The glass deck, for instance, will require 40 Faction War runs and a winning run with a final lineup composed of only one archetype. Now, each deck also has bespoke effects, such as Crow's deck, allowing you to continue if you lose a non-base match. Once per run, though. Sometimes fans will notice right away in Faction Wars, in those matches, as well as Quick Swap, is the updated presentation that not only points towards the entrance ramp, but it also includes the My Faction cards in your current lineup, which will be visible on the Titantron in the background. They go on to say that this is part of the evolution of the mode to differentiate My Faction matches from all the others in the game. Now, what's got me a little worried here is they did the World Tour mode last year, and they barely touch on it this year. I feel like, again, it's going to take a back burner, a back seat. It's going to be hidden backstage when it comes to updates this year. Now, I liked World Tour to an extent. I didn't like how you had to have certain cards. It was just the whole My Faction experience as a money grab, but World Tour had potential, and it didn't get the updates, and it just didn't have other ways to make it through World Tour without having certain cards. But anyway, it says, World Tour is also making its return, offering up different types of rewards such as personas, My Faction points, ARC cards, and My Faction packs. And players will find North America, the UK, Japan, Africa, and Mexico, all as available locations. And that's all, everybody. That's all they say about World Tour. And then they go on to talk about some of the My Faction cards. So, last but not least, My Faction cards. Finally, players will see some new updates to the designs of the year's My Faction cards, inclusive of the gym rarities. At launch, we'll have cards from the below sets available to all players. Superstar Series 1, Momentum, Legends Series 1, and Aftershock. Now, in addition, My Faction cards that are earned through the Ringside Pass will have their own distinct looks, as seen with the Dirty Dom card. And it's all up there on the screen, and you can see the difference in each card. They look good this year. Now, it says, as has been the case recently, there will be other opportunities as well to earn My Faction content across other modes such as My Rise, Showcase, via DLC, and more. So be on the lookout for additional rewards. Now, we've heard it all, seen it all. Now we have to discuss it all. What are my thoughts and opinions on the My Faction this year? I, for one, have to say I'm a little biased because I do not like My Faction. It is such a money grab. I can never make it through anything. I can never collect full sets. I can never get those Persona cards. And World Tour, well, World Tour was fun. I didn't get very far in it without certain cards. And then the updates they just stopped. They ghosted us. So as far as World Tour mode coming back, I'm not really concerned about that in a good light. I'm more concerned about it being just put on the back burner. They gave us all these things, and it's not going to get any updates once we make it through all these things. If we can, depending on how much of a money grab and how many cards you need to actually get through that mode. Now, the new modes, I don't know if I like the chemistry setup that they got going on here, because I think it complicates things a little more than what My Faction needs to be. Now, as far as it goes with the other new mode, the match type, that might be a little fun, how you can teleport in and out, and it's kind of like a Street Fighter Mortal Kombat kind of thing. I don't know if it's going to get stale or old with fighting games that are still doing this, and that there's more to come that are still doing this, but it's something new to My Faction, as well as the intergender and the way the lineups work. That's all good and gravy. I'm kind of wanting to see how it all works, even though I don't like My Faction. But World Tour and the chemistry, I'm not too keen on. Now, the cards look really good this year, and hopefully we can win a lot of cards. Hopefully the grind isn't as bad. Hopefully My Faction and WWE 2K26 got more of an overhaul than what we actually see here in the Ringside Pass. But we have only 2 weeks, 13 days, everybody. 13 days, less than 2 weeks before the early access, and then March 13th, full access for all the standard editions. What do you think? Comment down below. What do you think about My Faction? What do you think about My Faction this year? Do you like the changes? Do you not like the changes? What are you hoping is different that wasn't mentioned here? And if you like what I do on this channel, then go ahead and buy a pack of the Like Series 1 cards. And to further help the channel out, perhaps you wouldn't mind subscribing to that Ringside Pass to earn more My Persona cards. And lastly, you gotta hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of any of my videos as they are posted. And I've been Mr. Boo, Entertainment Guru. That has been my faction for WWE 2K26. And until next time, everyone, I am out.